as we talk more and more about, can you hear me? Okay, we've got a technical difficulty there.
All right, no.
We got you.
I got you. You there?
All right, great.
Yeah, sorry.
We're ready to take to the skies now with the conversation then. Okay. Jamie, as we talk more about, as we see more signs of reopening and recovery within air travel right now, which carrier, which companies, which stocks do you cover are best positioned to reap the rewards most quickly?
Well, look, if you listen to the market, all of them apparently, and I'm not sure that I agree with that. There are definitely some positive things to emerge, from COVID. Internationally, long term, we expect there to be less competition, less capacity, higher fares, higher margins. That's a good thing. All of the U.S. airlines have a plan to get back to 2019 unit economics, but with lower headcount, fewer aircraft. So the airline industry is becoming lower cost, and of course, the downturn has proven just how important the loyalty programs are. Now, I don't want to sound like a curmudgeon. I mean, those are all positive things, but there's also been some real damage done. Balance sheets have been under pressure. Shareholders, in most cases, have been significantly diluted, not in the case of Alaska and Delta. Those are two outliers, and those are two names that we like here. And of course, there's still this huge overhang as to what's going to happen next with corporate travel. So it's not clear to me. I think we can rule out the industry being worse off. We don't think there's much risk of that, but it's not clear if it's going to be a little better or a lot better than it was looking in 2019.
Yeah, when I hear you talk about the damage to balance sheets and all the debt that we've seen issued over the past year or so, I mean, and then I couple that with this news that we got this week of this merger between GCAS and AerCap, which I know you cover right now. Mm-hmm. Is it a good time for aircraft lessors?
It actually is. The leasing space, the leasing model is far more resilient than the airline model. And yet for most of the pandemic, leasing stocks, were treated just as poorly as the airline stocks, initially were. So, we're pretty bullish on the prospect for the lessors on a long-term basis going forward.
Jamie, not only did you not have your mic on initially, but you also got your phone on loud. There we go. Wanted to ask you about the opportunities where we have seen capacity reduced significantly, perhaps internationally, certain routes like that, and which airlines are best positioned to capitalize on that coming out of the pandemic?
Look, everybody wants out of their house at this point. I want out, you want out. Nobody's content sitting at home watching, Tiger King, reruns at this point. So the domestic market is the one that's recovering. Several airlines have already spoken about the month of March booking ahead of expectations. We think that's probably true, across the board. So names like Southwest, JetBlue, Spirit, Alaska, they're going to lead the way out of the downturn, given their all domestic or nearly all domestic exposure. But at this point, look, the reopening trade has run. Maybe it has more legs. But the next thing we have to position ourselves for is the resumption of business travel in the opening of international markets. And that's where a name like Delta is better positioned.
This latest tranche of federal aid, is this going to be enough to get the airline industry and specifically its workers through what's left of this pandemic and the economic effects?
Yeah, look, you didn't ask me on your show today because I'm a taxpayer. So, so the fact that I may be disgusted by, PSP 3.0 is probably not relevant to your viewers. As an airline analyst, I'm thrilled. If policy is to throw good money at the airline industry at a time when they have access to other capital, and I shouldn't say free money, 70 cents on every dollar is free. 30 cents does have to be paid back. But look, the industry, several carriers turned down government loans. They didn't need the money. Will they take the handout? Of course they will. Who wouldn't in this case? But the industry is not in peril. The industry does not need PSP 3.0.
Jamie Baker, thanks for joining us.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.